All right, so today we're going to dive into something pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Interactive ebooks for kids.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen these popping up more and more?
I have. I've noticed that.
Yeah, and they're really cool. Um, and for good reason, they're not just your typical ebook.
Right.
We're talking about a whole new way for kids to experience stories
Yeah.
and learn at the same time. So our main guide for this deep dive is an article
Okay.
called Making Money with Interactive Ebooks for Children: How to Create Them with ChatGPT.
Interesting.
So we're going to break down this article and explore how these ebooks work,
Okay.
how you can even use AI to make them, and why they're such a big deal in the world of children's learning.
It's really a fascinating area
Yeah.
where creativity and technology come together.
Yeah.
And you might be surprised at how much potential these ebooks have.
Yeah.
Not just for entertainment, but for actually helping kids develop
Yeah.
important skills.
Okay, so first things first.
Yeah.
What exactly are we talking about? When we say interactive ebook, I can picture a regular ebook, but what makes these ones different?
Well, think about it this way.
Yeah.
Instead of just reading words on a screen,
Yeah.
imagine your child being able to tap an image
Yeah.
and watch it animate or hear sound effects that bring the story to life around them.
So it's not just about reading.
Right.
It's about experiencing the story with multiple senses.
Exactly.
I can see how that would be way more captivating for a kid.
And the interactivity goes even deeper than that.
Oh, wow.
A lot of these ebooks have built-in mini-games,
Oh, cool.
quizzes, and other activities that turn reading into an active learning process.
That's awesome.
So, for example, imagine a story about counting apples where the child has to tap the screen to count the apples themselves.
Oh, that's cool.
Or a quiz at the end that checks their understanding of the story.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
It sounds like these interactive elements could be really powerful for reinforcing learning in a way that's fun for kids.
Yeah.
And you mentioned quizzes.
Yes.
I've heard that AI, like ChatGPT,
Right?
can actually help create these ebooks.
Right.
I'm curious, how does that actually work?
ChatGPT can be surprisingly helpful in a few different ways.
Okay.
First, it can help you come up with story ideas if you're feeling stuck.
Okay.
Let's say you want to write a story about a friendly monster who's afraid of the dark.
Okay.
You could literally ask ChatGPT, give me a story idea about a monster who's afraid of the dark, and it would give you a starting point with a basic plot and maybe some character ideas.
So it's like a brainstorming partner, but digital.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But what about those interactive elements we were talking about?
Yeah.
Can ChatGPT help with those too?
It can.
Okay.
Let's say you've written your story about the monster and you want to make it more interactive.
Okay.
You could ask ChatGPT something like, suggest some interactive elements for a story about a monster who's afraid of the dark.
Okay.
It might suggest things like having the child tap the screen to turn on a light in the story, or maybe having them drag and drop objects to help the monster find their way in the dark.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like having a built-in creative consultant who can help you think outside the box.
Exactly.
And I've heard that ChatGPT can even be used to create those educational quizzes or games within the ebook.
That's right. It can generate questions based on the story's content.
Oh, wow.
So in our monster story, it could create questions like, what did the monster use to light up the dark? Or how did the monster overcome their fear? It's a really easy way to add a layer of learning and make sure kids are really absorbing the story.
I'm starting to see how these interactive ebooks can be so much more than just entertainment. They're like a combination of a storybook, a game, and a learning tool all in one.
Exactly.
But creating all these interactive elements sounds pretty complex.
Yeah.
What kind of platforms do people actually use to make these ebooks?
Well, there are actually several platforms out there
Okay.
that are surprisingly user-friendly, even if you're not a tech whiz. One that's really popular, especially for beginners, is Canva.
Oh, Canvas.
You might know it as a graphic design tool.
Right.
But it also has some really neat features for creating basic interactive elements.
So could I use Canva to create those tappable images and sound effects we were talking about earlier?
You absolutely could.
Wow.
It's great for getting started and adding those initial layers of interactivity.
Okay.
Then, if you're looking to create more advanced features like quizzes or even simple animations,
Okay.
there are other platforms that specialize in those.
Okay.
One example is Book Creator, which is designed specifically for making interactive ebooks
Okay.
and gives you a lot more options for multimedia.
Interesting. So Canva is like a good stepping stone.
Yeah.
And then you can move on to something like Book Creator if you want to get more complex.
That's a good way to think about it. There's
Yeah.
a platform out there for everyone, no matter your technical skill level or the type of interactivity you want to create.
All right, so we've got a good grasp on what makes these interactive ebooks unique and how tools like ChatGPT and platforms like Canva or Book Creator can help us bring them to life.
Right.
But now I'm wondering, what are the real benefits for kids?
Okay.
We've touched on the learning aspect,
Okay.
but I'd love to dig a bit deeper into how these ebooks can actually impact a child's development.
That's a great question, and it's really at the heart of what makes these ebooks so exciting.
Yeah.
The interactivity goes beyond just making things fun.
Right.
It actually taps into how kids learn best. For example, think about those touch-sensitive images we talked about.
Okay.
When a child taps the screen and something happens, it reinforces their understanding of cause and effect.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's not just passive observation.
Right.
It's active participation that helps them make sense of the world around them.
Exactly. And those mini games and quizzes, they're not just for fun either. They can help develop problem-solving skills,
Oh, wow.
critical thinking, and even hand-eye coordination, depending on the activity. And because it's all wrapped up in a story, kids are learning without even realizing it.
That's the ideal scenario, right?
Yeah,
Learning that feels like play.
exactly.
And I imagine the multimedia aspects,
Yeah.
the sound effects, the animations
Right.
can be really powerful for engaging different learning styles.
Absolutely. Some kids learn best visually,
Yeah.
others through auditory input.
Right.
Interactive ebooks can cater to all those different styles,
Yeah.
making learning more accessible and enjoyable for everyone.
I'm starting to see just how much potential these ebooks have for shaping how kids learn and grow.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can be tailored to different age groups and learning styles makes them even more versatile.
It's a really exciting field, and it's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
We're only just beginning to scratch the surface of what's possible with interactive storytelling for children.
Well, on that note, I'm ready to dive even deeper into the world of interactive ebooks.
Okay.
I'm curious to learn more about the specific platforms for creating and publishing them, and how creators can actually make money from their work.
Let's jump right into that in part 2 of our deep dive.
All right, sounds good. I'll be right back
Okay.
after a quick break
Great.
to chat more about interactive ebooks.
Sounds good. So welcome back.
All right, so we laid some good groundwork in the last part, understanding what makes these interactive ebooks unique and different from traditional ones.
Right.
And then we even started talking about how AI, like ChatGPT,
Yeah.
can be surprisingly helpful
Yeah.
in the creation process.
Sure.
But now I'm curious about the more practical side of things.
Okay.
Let's say we have this amazing interactive ebook idea. Maybe we've even started playing around with ChatGPT and Canva.
Yeah.
What are the next steps? How do we actually get this thing designed, polished, and out there for kids to enjoy?
That's where understanding the different ebook platforms and publishing options comes in.
Okay.
We touched on Canva earlier,
Yeah.
which is great for those early stages, and adding basic interactivity.
Yeah.
But as your ebook becomes more complex,
Uh-huh.
you'll want to explore other options.
So if Canva's our starting point, where do we go from there?
Okay.
What are some of those other platforms we should be aware of?
A good next step might be exploring a platform like Kotobi
Kotobi.
that offers a good balance between user-friendliness
Okay.
and advanced features.
Right.
You can create things like interactive quizzes
Yeah.
with various question types,
Cool.
embed videos and audio directly into the ebook,
Wow.
and even incorporate some light animation.
So Kotobi gives us more flexibility than Canva
Yeah.
while still being manageable
Right.
for someone who might not be a coding expert.
Exactly.
That sounds like a sweet spot for a lot of creators.
Yeah, for sure.
But what about those really high-end ebooks we see?
Okay.
The ones with complex animations, maybe even 3D elements?
Yeah.
What kind of platform would you need for that?
For those kinds of projects, you'd be looking at professional ebook development software.
Like Unity or Unreal Engine.
Oh, wow, yeah.
These are industry standard tools used for creating video games
Right?
and other highly interactive experiences.
I see.
They require a steeper learning curve,
Right.
but the creative possibilities are pretty much limitless.
Wow. So it sounds like there's a whole spectrum of platforms out there.
Yeah.
Ranging from beginner-friendly tools like Canva to professional-grade software like Unity.
Right.
It's amazing to see how accessible ebook creation has become.
It really is.
But let's say we've designed our ebook.
Okay.
We're happy with the interactivity.
Yeah.
It's all polished and ready to go.
Uh-huh.
What's next? How do we actually get it out there for kids to read?
That's where we move into the world of ebook publishing.
Okay.
And luckily, there are a few different paths you can take depending on your goals and resources.
Okay, let's break those down. What are some of the most common publishing options for interactive ebooks?
One of the most popular routes is going through major online retailers.
Like Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP, or Apple Books.
Oh, right, yeah.
These platforms have massive reach,
Uh-huh.
making it easy to get your ebook in front of a wide audience.
Yeah.
However, it's important to note that their support for interactive features can vary.
Okay.
So you'll want to check their guidelines carefully before you start designing.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We don't want to spend all this time creating this amazing interactive experience.
Right.
Only to find out that it's not compatible with the platform we want to use.
Exactly.
So Amazon and Apple Books are great for reach.
Yeah.
But what if we want more control over how our ebook is presented or marketed?
Okay.
Are there other options?
Absolutely.
Another approach is to create your own website or platform
Okay.
and sell your ebooks directly to consumers.
Interesting.
This gives you complete control over pricing, branding, and the overall customer experience. You can even build a community around your ebooks
Oh, wow.
by offering bonus content, hosting online events.
Or engaging directly with your readers.
That sounds like a great way to build a dedicated audience.
Yeah.
And foster a deeper connection with readers.
For sure.
But I imagine setting up your own website or platform takes a bit more technical know-how, right?
It definitely requires more effort up front.
Okay.
You'll need to handle things like web design, hosting, payment processing,
Yeah,
and marketing.
I see.
However, there are platforms out there that simplify the process,
Okay.
offering website templates, e-commerce tools,
Uh-huh.
and even marketing resources specifically designed for creators.
So it's not necessarily out of reach
Right.
for someone who might not have a lot of technical experience.
Exactly.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And I've heard about some authors using a subscription model for their ebooks.
Uh-huh.
Is that something that would work well in this space?
Subscription models can be a really smart strategy for interactive ebooks.
Okay.
You could offer access to a library of your ebooks
Okay.
for a monthly or annual fee, or even release new chapters or content on a regular schedule.
Interesting.
This not only creates a steady income stream,
Right.
but it also encourages readers to stay engaged with your work over time.
It's like the Netflix model for children's books.
Exactly.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
But let's get real for a second.
Okay.
We're not just creating these ebooks for the love of it.
Right.
We also want to make sure our efforts are sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
How do creators actually generate income from these interactive ebooks? We've talked about selling them individually
Yeah.
and subscription models.
Right.
But are there other monetization strategies we should be aware of?
Absolutely. One avenue to consider is in-app purchases.
In-app purchases, okay.
If you've created your own app or platform,
Huh?
you can offer additional content features or even virtual items within the ebook for a small fee.
Okay.
For example, you could offer a bonus set of interactive games related to the story,
Okay.
or maybe virtual stickers that kids can collect and use to personalize their reading experience.
That's a clever way to provide extra value and keep kids engaged
Right.
while also generating additional revenue. What about partnerships or sponsorships?
Okay.
Is that something that's common in the interactive ebook world?
It can be particularly for educational ebooks.
Okay.
You could partner with educational organizations or companies that offer products or services
Yeah,
related to the themes of your ebook.
I see.
For example, if your ebook teaches kids about different animals,
Okay.
you could partner with a zoo or wildlife conservation group to offer exclusive content or promote their educational programs.
So it's not just about selling the ebook itself.
Right.
It's about thinking about the whole ecosystem around it
Exactly.
and finding creative ways to add value for readers and partners.
Uh-huh.
I'm really starting to see how the business side of interactive ebooks
Yeah,
can be just as innovative as the creative side.
for sure.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive, and
Yes.
we've talked about a lot. You know how to create them, how to publish them, even how to market them.
Uh-huh.
But now I want to get a little futuristic.
Okay.
What is on the horizon for these ebooks? What kind of cool new developments
Yeah.
can we expect to see in the coming years?
Well, it's a really exciting time to be in this space
Yeah.
because the technology is advancing so rapidly.
Uh-huh.
One of the biggest trends we're seeing is the rise of augmented reality, or AR.
AR. Okay.
Imagine a child reading an ebook about space,
So,
and suddenly they can hold up their tablet
Mhm.
and see a 3D model of the solar system appear right in their living room.
that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Like bringing the book to life in a whole new way.
Exactly.
But I have to admit, I'm still a little fuzzy on what exactly AR is.
Oh,
Could you break it down for me?
sure.
And maybe give an example of how it could be used in a children's ebook.
Of course. So AR essentially overlays digital images or information onto the real world.
Okay.
Usually through a device like a smartphone or tablet. So in that space ebook example,
Okay.
the tablet's camera would capture the child's living room,
Okay.
and the AR technology would superimpose a 3D model of the solar system
Right.
onto that real-world image. The child could then move their tablet around to view the planets from different angles,
I see.
zoom in for a closer look,
Cool.
or even interact with the model in various ways.
That's so cool. It's like bridging the gap between the digital world and the real world.
Exactly.
And I can see how that would be incredibly engaging for kids, especially those who are visual learners.
For sure.
But what about virtual reality or VR?
Okay.
How is that playing a role in the evolution of interactive ebooks?
VR takes immersion to a whole new level by creating completely immersive digital environments
Oh, wow.
that you can step into and interact with.
Interesting.
Imagine a child putting on a VR headset
Okay.
and suddenly finding themselves in the middle of the Amazon rainforest,
Wow.
surrounded by the sights and sounds of the jungle, able to interact with virtual animals. Oh, cool.
And learn about the ecosystem firsthand.
Wow. That would be an unforgettable experience.
It would.
It's like taking a virtual field trip without ever leaving your home.
Exact.
But I imagine creating those kinds of VR experiences for ebooks is pretty complex and expensive, right?
It can be.
Yeah.
But the technology is becoming more accessible all the time.
Okay.
And as the cost of VR headsets comes down and the software becomes easier to use, I think we'll see a lot more experimentation with VR in children's ebooks.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is.
But beyond AR and VR,
Yeah.
what other technological advancements are shaping the future of interactive ebooks? We talked earlier about AI, like ChatGPT,
Right.
and how it can assist in the creation process.
Uh-huh.
Is AI playing a role in the evolution of ebooks themselves?
Absolutely. AI is not just helping us create ebooks.
Yeah.
It's starting to shape the reading experience itself.
Oh, wow.
One area where we're seeing this is in personalization.
Imagine an ebook that can adapt to the child's reading level learning style and even their interests.
So if a child is struggling with a particular concept, the ebook could automatically adjust the difficulty level or offer additional explanations.
Exactly. Or if a child shows a particular interest in, say, dinosaurs,
Okay.
the ebook could offer more in-depth information about dinosaurs.
Right.
Or even suggest other dinosaur-themed ebooks they might enjoy.
Cool.
AI can help create these personalized learning paths, making the reading experience more engaging and effective for each child.
That's incredible. It's like having a personalized tutor built right into the ebook.
Yeah.
But what about the storytelling aspect?
Okay.
Can AI actually help write stories for children?
That's an area where AI is rapidly advancing.
Okay.
We're already seeing AI being used to generate basic story plots, character ideas, and even dialogue.
Wow.
And as the technology continues to develop, I think we'll see AI playing a more significant role in the creative process. Perhaps even collaborating with human authors
Interesting.
to create entirely new kinds of stories.
That raises some interesting questions about the future of authorship and creativity.
It does.
But regardless of who or what is writing the stories, I'm curious to know what those stories might be about. What kind of themes or topics do you think will resonate most with young readers in the years to come?
Well, I think we'll continue to see stories that reflect the world around us, both the challenges and the opportunities.
Okay.
Themes like diversity, inclusion, environmental sustainability, and social justice are becoming increasingly important to young people.
Right.
And I think those themes will be reflected in the stories they read.
It makes sense that children's literature would evolve alongside the changing social landscape.
Yeah.
And of course, there will always be a place for those timeless themes of friendship, family, and adventure.
Absolutely. Those themes are universal
Yeah.
and will always resonate with young readers. But what's exciting about interactive ebooks is that they allow us to explore those themes in new and innovative ways.
Yeah.
Using technology to create immersive experiences that spark imagination and foster a love of learning.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the future of interactive ebooks for children is incredibly bright.
I agree.
It's a future filled with immersive experiences, personalized learning, and endless possibilities for creativity and innovation.
It really is.
Well, this has been a great deep dive.
It has.
We've learned so much about interactive ebooks for children.
Yes.
From what makes them unique and engaging to how they're created, published, and marketed.
Yeah.
We've even explored the exciting possibilities that lie ahead
We have.
as technology continues to evolve.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, it was my pleasure.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep creating,
Yes,
and keep those young minds engaged.
I agree.
Bye.